From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
This episode of News 8 Daily 8 is presented by Downtown Indy.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, November 13th. Yep, Friday the 13th, folks, here in 2020. Better buckle up. Be safe out there, everybody. And a cooler day is expected today. Partly cloudy and breezy throughout the day. Highs will only get to the upper 40s. For your Saturday, prepare for a cold start before highs reach the 50s. We'll also have some scattered showers possible through tomorrow afternoon. The Colts seize control of the division and their playoff fate with a convincing win over the Titans. The coach is crediting running back Nyheim Hines after his 2-touchdown birthday performance. We talked about how big this Thursday night game was, and the players lived up to the hype, saying this to the Colts cam.
Y'all already know what time it is, baby. I don't know about you, but I think we deserve more primetime games.
The night may have started slow, but it picked up in the second half. The Titans didn't even score after halftime. The Colts picked up 3 touchdowns, including a major moment where the Titans went for a punt. It was blocked by E.J. Speed, and then T.J. Carey picked it up and breezed through the goal line. The question is, can they do it again? The Colts host the Titans at Lucas Oil in about 2 weeks. Our Charlie Clifford reports from Nashville with reaction from the coach and the night's big playmakers.
Down a touchdown on the turf that belongs to the NFL's most lethal rusher. The Colts defense shuts out Derrick Henry and the Tennessee offense over the final 32 minutes of play on Thursday night. Phillip Rivers outduels Ryan Tannehill, 308 yards passing for Rivers. But the story of the night goes to the birthday boy, Nyheim Hines, his third 2-touchdown game of the season. It was the spark Frank Reich needed in his backfield.
He just came out and he just had fire in his eye. I can't explain it. Coach Rathman came up to me on the sideline and said, Nyheim is on fire. And I said, leave him in. Leave him in. We'll just give him a break when he needs a break, but let's ride it. He came out ready to play, and he always does. But every now and then, you know how it is. You're in the zone. You got a little extra juice, and Nyheim had that today.
I think I'm a dynamic player, and I think in space I'm one of the most dangerous guys out there. And I feel like I'm a spark plug on our team. May not touch the ball, a million times, but I feel like when I go in there, it's a change of pace. And they rode the high hand tonight, and it was just the Lord blessed me to have the high hand tonight, and just had to make the most of it. And, when you carry the ball, you carry the fate of everybody in that organization, the people before and after me. So I took that with pride and just ran the ball hard.
This one was a huge game. We knew it. It was going to be huge either way, but coming off of last week's game, not finding a way to beat the Ravens, it was even bigger. And, we'll see them again in, 16, 17 days. But first, we get to regroup and get ready for the Packers.
I think what it is when you get hurt, it's more than just physical. I think that it took me a couple games to get my mindset back and just kind of get that confidence back.
That's what we talk about. Playing good football on all 3 phases, and that's what it takes to win ball games, especially on the road, a divisional opponent, and that's what we did. We came out, all 3 phases, played well, and we're leaving with a W. That's all that matters.
The second half, a special teams disaster for Tennessee. Trevor Daniel, the Titans punter, one was shanked, another was blocked in return for a touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr., the exact opposite. A career night for the Colts rookie wide receiver, 101 yards receiving. Kenny Moore left with a rib injury. He's undergoing an MRI. Keep an eye on that story ahead of the Packers game. But the Colts leave Tennessee 6-3, even with the Titans after 10 weeks. In Nashville, Charlie Clifford, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Businesses are bracing for new coronavirus restrictions in Marion County. The changes begin Monday and focus on cutting back on crowds. Inside capacity for restaurants will move back to 50%. Bars and gyms move to 25%. Buffets, salad bars, and karaoke are banned. However, Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett says public spaces aren't the only problem.
I want to be clear that we're also seeing a fundamental shift from community spread in public places to infections that are occurring within private homes, between extended family and friends.
There's also a new requirement that if you want to visit a long-term care facility, health officials say you must test negative for the virus at least 72 hours before your visit. Schools across Marion County must go all virtual by the end of the month, leaving families scrambling. The timing depends on the district. Wayne Township's move is already in motion. It starts Monday. Beech Grove's plan will put the rest of its students entirely online by Wednesday the 18th. Indianapolis Public Schools and Warren, Lawrence, and Pike Township go full virtual Monday the 23rd. All classes at Hamilton Southeastern schools will be virtual today, then return to a mix next week. The district says staffing problems related to the pandemic are leading to today's change. Starting Monday, the district's plan is to have grades 7 and up be all virtual, 5th and 6th graders hybrid, and younger students stay in person. Today, the Board of Health in Fishers is set to vote on new rules from the city's health department. The order would cancel extracurricular school activities, impose new restrictions on restaurants and bars, and set new attendance caps on gatherings. Fishers runs its own health department, independent from the county departments that all other central Indiana communities rely on. Right now, the testing positivity rate in Fishers is 17%, which is higher than the figures from the rest of Hamilton County and the state. State health officials confirmed a record daily case count of more than 6,600 and announced 51 new deaths. That brings the total cases to more than 230,000 and total deaths to more than 4,500, all connected to COVID-19. And the officials say ICU bed availability is down to 22%. That's the lowest since the state began reporting in April. More than 2,500 people are hospitalized with the coronavirus, a number that has increased for 2 weeks straight. Large event venues will suffer setbacks with these new restrictions. We checked in with the Biltwell Event Center. It reopened in June, hosted weddings this summer and fall. The director of the venue says even though he wishes the rules were different, they will keep following them. The Biltwell was able to keep all of its employees throughout the pandemic. It was able to do so by keeping them busy with building maintenance. Chicago's mayor is issuing new rules advising people to stay at home and requiring businesses to make changes. It starts Monday morning. The order asks people to go out only when it's essential and to cancel traditional Thanksgiving plans. All gatherings indoors and out are limited to 10 people. The positivity rate in Chicago is 14.5%. The changes are slated to last at least 1 month.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
And we found a local perspective on a troubling new international study that says the pandemic is costing children some basic skills. The study focuses on young children up to the age of 16. It was published by the Office for Standards in Education, Children's Services, and Skills. Researchers visited 900 education and social care providers in 2 months. They found younger children who were previously potty trained fell back into diapers, especially those with parents who didn't have work flexibility. And older children lost stamina in reading and writing, which they claim is the result of school closures and restrictions. University of Indianapolis professor Dr. Kendra Thomas says some research done here in the U.S. shows a huge spread of where kids are, and this new research was meant for policymakers.
One thing that this report can say to policymakers is they're trying to understand where are kids going to come back after Christmas break or even next school year. As policymakers, teachers, principals, superintendents trying to project how do we teach to the group and best manage our community. And then there's a level at kind of the parent or the caregiver concern of what does this mean about my child and my development.
Dr. Thomas says if a parent or caregiver is realizing that their child has regressed in some way, they should be less concerned about that skill and see it as a symptom. She says this means the child needs more structure or support. Dr. Thomas says kids can always relearn skills. Her advice for parents, it's more important to focus on what needs are being met and what needs to be addressed. A daunting prediction from the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, cautions the economy we knew is probably a thing of the past. Powell made the announcement in an online conference of world banking leaders. Powell says the current surge in cases across America is making economic matters worse, and he feels it won't recover until people are confident it is safe to be out in crowds. Powell also appealed to lawmakers, saying they may need to do more in the form of pandemic relief and stimulus. And China is congratulating President-elect Joe Biden this morning. A foreign ministry spokesman says the Chinese government will respect the choice of the American people. China's message to Biden comes days after most major world leaders have already reached out to the president-elect. The spokesperson gave no reason for the delay and did not say if Chinese President Xi Jinping had spoken with Biden. The Department of Homeland Security is standing behind the integrity of the 2020 presidential election, saying it was the most secure in American history. The DHS released a statement writing, "There is no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised." The announcement follows Georgia's Secretary of State saying there would be a recount by hand because the election was so close. The head of DHS's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is also urging U.S. voters to believe in the nation's voting system. Hoosiers are helping Honduras after Hurricane Eta pummeled the country as a Category 4 storm late last week. Over the next few days, people can drop donations off at a local restaurant, El Sabor Catracho. It's all going to help people in Honduras who've been impacted by Hurricane Eta. A group of local women started gathering the donations this week. There is devastation in Honduras, specifically in La Lima. 36,000 families were affected by the natural disaster. They have lost their homes with nowhere to go. Donations will be donated directly to the Ruth Paz Foundation. There are several things in highest demand. We have a full list of everything on wishtv.com, but a few of the big ones are blankets, clothes, and shoes for all ages, baby formula, powdered milk, and diapers. Donation drop-offs will run today through Sunday, the 15th, from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Those drop-off locations are the restaurant I mentioned, El Sabor Catracho in Indianapolis. It's on Pendleton Pike. And then also Prestige Beauty School. That's also on Pendleton Pike. We have the full addresses on wishtv.com. You can also find there online how to make monetary donations very easily. We have a link on our website to the GoFundMe page that's been set up. And again, you can find all of this information there. Now to your business headlines. Retailers and delivery companies are preparing for an online holiday shopping surge that could tax shipping networks and lead to delivery delays. FedEx and UPS are ramping up their holiday hiring while expanding their weekend operations. Stores are pushing shoppers to buy early and are expanding services like curbside pickup to minimize the need for delivery. Disney reported more than 73 million paid subscribers to its Disney Plus streaming service. The company exceeded expectations on revenue and showed less drastic losses than anticipated, but still will have its first annual loss in 40 years. The COVID-19 pandemic has most significantly impacted Disney's parks division due to local restrictions that have forced temporary closures or limited capacity. Deutsche Bank says employees who choose to work remotely should pay a tax to help those workers on low incomes who cannot. It says employees who work from home receive immediate financial benefits, including reduced costs for travel, food, and clothing. The report suggests the employer would pay the tax if it doesn't provide the worker with a permanent desk. Otherwise, the employee would pay that tax. New biodegradable plates made from pineapples will sprout if you plant them in soil. The company LifePack hopes the plates can help reduce global plastic waste. It also makes sleeves and sandwich containers that are also plantable. Okay, and here's quite the new device. We're talking about the ClearMate device, and it is designed to allow people to hyperventilate safely, which is found to speed up the clearance of alcohol from healthy volunteers 3 times faster in a small pilot study. So literally you can get rid of alcohol in your system faster through this little device. The Canadian researchers say the patient is outfitted with a gas mask, which connects to a supply of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The mixture of gases they breathe in causes them to hyperventilate, while the device then feeds them back enough carbon dioxide that the body doesn't involuntarily shut down, really. And work on the Circle of Lights gets underway this weekend. Downtown Indy Inc. says tomorrow morning, 4,784 lights will go up around the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. IBEW 481 are the ones doing the decorating like they have for the past 58 years. The flip will be switched on the night after Thanksgiving, but this year is different, of course. Downtown Indy Inc. is reminding people to not come down to watch due to the pandemic. Christmas at the Indianapolis Zoo starts next weekend, and the zoo says it has more lights and events this year. The zoo will open Sundays through Thursdays from noon until 9 p.m. and until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. The zoo asks that you buy tickets online if you want to visit. You can also go to the zoo's website to learn how to vote to include them in USA Today's 10 Best Zoo Lights. This is the 6th straight year they've been nominated. And this year's Christmas Lights, Nights of Lights, begins at dusk at the State Fairgrounds. Wish TV was able to get a preview of the city's largest synchronized light show. This year, there is a new, longer route with new songs. The shows run until 10 p.m. and will run every day until January 3rd. For ticket information, just head to wishtv.com. Have a wonderful and safe weekend, everybody. Enjoy the festivities that are going on, and hopefully you'll join me back here next week. This has been your News 8 Day Lead for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This episode of News 8 Daily 8 is presented by Downtown Indy.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.